Good afternoon slash good evening, everyone. I've got a new announcement to make. Welcome to my channel. And my new channel is called, well, it's not my new channel, it's my old channel, but I've renamed it to my name in real life. So welcome to Joey Barnett TV. It sounds much better than welcome to Borstal Boys Towers. And the reason why I decided to use my real name was because in reality, I've got nothing to hide. In reality, I'm not running from not one single person. I've got lots of remorse. I bring lots of things to the table, and I'm a real person. I don't hide behind computer screens. I don't hide behind phones. I don't hide behind social media. I don't slate no one off. I wouldn't talk about anyone behind their back what I wouldn't say to their face. So there was a few reasons why I decided to change my channel to my name, guys. And yeah, that's the main reasons. So yeah, hope you're all doing well. I hope you've had a good day, and I hope everything has gone back to normal after the weekend. I've been quite busy today, getting on with bits and pieces. I've got a life away from YouTube. I've got a big family, a missus, dogs, our own home, and there's lots going on behind the scenes. But I do try my hardest, or my hardest. It don't sound right when I even try and pronounce my words that way, does it? You listen to this. I do try my hardest, or I do try my hardest. Hardest don't sound right, does it? So we're going to go on how I talk. I'm not going to make out I'm something what I'm not, and that's something what I like to upload and let everyone know. And this is why I've got such good subscribers, such good followers, because everyone knows that I don't try and make out I'm something what I'm not. I don't glamorise crime. I don't glamorise addiction. I don't glamorise drugs. I actually don't rate myself in any way, shape or form. I'm just like the next person what's trying to make their way in life. And I'm living my life as now a reformed person, and it's all new to me, to be totally honest with you. I've only had, I'm 54, and I got clean at 2010. So what's that, 12 years, 13 years? I've probably only had 20 years of my whole life clean, away from drugs. And it definitely hasn't been that long since I've been out of jail, because the last time I was away was 2010. So that's 12, is it 12 years ago? Yeah, that's 12 years ago. My sums ain't too good. That's 12 years ago. And it's gone so quick. It's just gone like that. It really has. It still feels like it was only last year when I was in jail. Let's put it that way. I can actually picture myself walking down the landing. I can picture myself sitting in my cell on the end of my bed with my head in my hands, suffering from depression, worrying and being in a very, very horrible place. And that was only like 12 years ago. But yeah, they do say time flies when you're having fun. But the difference between then and now was my mind them days was clouded by drugs, by gang activity, and by committing crimes. Now I haven't got a clouded mind. My eyes are wide open, and I can face things full on in the face, because I live as a reformed person now. As I said, I don't slate anyone off. I don't slander anyone, and I give everyone respect, and I expect it back. I expect people to treat me how I treat them. And yeah, guys, since I've changed my name, since I've changed my channel name to my real name, my views on my videos have gone up dramatically. So I uploaded one video yesterday about HMP Swaleside. I'm actually going to be doing a part 2 of that, by the way, because I noticed that the views climbed up so quick. This morning I uploaded it yesterday afternoon. I didn't really check it until this morning, until about 8 o'clock, until I got up, and it was on 1.2 thousand. And I've left it all day long, got on with my day and done what I've had to do. And I've just come on now to check how many views it's had, and it's gone up to 1.7 thousand views, which is not far from breathtaking and outstanding. And I believe it's going to climb even more. I keep asking myself the same question and going over and over in my head all day today. Why is it that these prison stories get more views than a story which would be as a reformed person, as a drug-free person, and as someone what's clean from committing crimes, taking drugs and going to prison? Why is it that people like seeing the prison stories? And I'll tell you why. I can't tell you why, but the reason why I think it can be is because they're the hard-hitting stories. They're the stories of the nitty-gritty. And, you know, I don't make things up. I don't glamorise things. And I'll tell you exactly how it was in whatever establishment I was in. And I'm not proud in any way, shape or form of my previous convictions. I'm not proud in any way, shape or form of the way I was leading my life. I'm actually disgusted in it. But I'm not the type of person to sit here and beat myself up, because I'm a great believer in, you know, my history is what has made me the person what I am today. If I didn't go through that, I probably wouldn't be sitting here telling these tales today. So I believe that it's my history what has shaped my future. I'm one of them type of people, and I'm versatile. I can move with the times. I'm not bitter. I'm not twisted. I don't regret. There's no point of living your life in regret, because you're going to be constantly beating yourself up, and you know that can lead to all sorts of different problems, mental health problems, and you know you're walking about as an angry, bitter person and twisted person. So you know, don't ever regret your past. What my advice: if you've got a bad bit of past and you ain't too keen on your bit of past, learn from it. That's the biggest thing you can ever do, or what anyone can ever do, is learn by your past, learn by your mistakes. And that's how we improve in everything we do in life, by making mistakes and not making them same mistakes twice again. So that's my little motivational speak over and done with. I've got a few bits written down which I was working on today. And I'm only going to give you the bullet points of the Swaleside Part 2 story, which I'm going to be doing tomorrow. So I'm just going to let you know what I've got written down and what I'm going to be covering on tomorrow's podcast. So this video will be named under Swaleside, because I want this story to continue, maybe Part 2, Part 3 and Part 4. I was in Swaleside from, I think, was I in there Manilium, New Year's Eve, Manilium, and all the doors were getting kicked off and it was going absolutely insane. Where was I then? I think I was in Dovegate at that time. That was 2000. So it was after then. Yeah, so I was in Swaleside, let's say, don't quote me, but let's say from 2001 until 2003, the beginning of 2003. Because I got swagged out there, I got ghosted out there, I got put down the segregation unit on good order and discipline, which I'll talk to you about tomorrow on the part. It'll be part 3, because this is going to be part 2 of the Swaleside story. So I'm gonna read out what I've got written down, and this is only what I'm going to be covering tomorrow. That's the only reason why I've got this written down, because I don't normally write things down. But if I'm going to be doing a podcast tomorrow, I do write things down like bullet points to remind me tomorrow morning of what I'm going to be talking about. So first of all, my first bullet point is road sweepers. How insane is that? It's got nothing to do with prison. You like that one, didn't you? But yeah, let's have a little chat about road sweepers. You don't see them no more, do ya? It's not like the old days. And also milkmen, milk floats, you don't see that. I remember my mum, and I remember chasing the milk float up the road, buying orange juice, eating yogurts. I remember when I was a kid even robbing milk floats. Not as much as robbing them, but stealing things off the back of them when the milkman was dropping bits and pieces off on the doorsteps. I was always going up to the milk floats, stealing yogurts and bits and pieces and bread and milk and taking them back to my mum. but you don't see milkmen no more. So I thought I'd make you laugh there before I continue about this other story about Swaleside, guys. So, Swaleside, this is what I'm going to be talking about. As soon as you hit Swaleside, as soon as you go through them horrid prison gates in the sweatbox, it's like the writing is on the walls. You can feel the violence. You can feel the eeriness, the darkness of the place. As soon as you get to reception, you just know, although I hadn't been there before and I hadn't heard much about it before, I just knew the minute I hit reception what type of jail it was like. The screws give a lot of it away because, you get treated like, I'm not going to get a strike on my channel, but they treat you like you're a prisoner. So yeah, it's the minute you hit reception, you're very aware of it being a violent place, and them towels are going round in your head from years and years and years ago through being in the system. Like you've got pals what have been plunged up there and what have been severely hurt there, and some pals, I've got a couple of pals what have actually lost their lives in there. So I was aware of this before I hit that prison, but yeah, even if I wasn't aware of that, it would soon it'd soon kick in. It'd soon let me know what this place was all about when I got to reception. Number two, I'm going to be talking about the violence which I witnessed in there. So, for instance, stabbings, slashings, murder, hot water, suicide, everything to do with violence was in Swaleside, times 10. It was the most violentest prison that I'd ever been to in my life, and I've been to some jails. I've been to most jails up and down the country in the UK. Not so much up north, although I have it long on for a few weeks on a lay down on a good old and discipline from Whitemore. Yeah, but that's as far as I've gone really. But yeah. The weekends in Swaleside I'm going to be talking about. It was like World War III in there. You had different cliques, you had different gangs. There could be up to between 4 to 8 people in one cell at a time, or they might have a few cells what they're using as cliques and as gangs. Basically, you've got spurs on each wing, and on association time of the evening, your spurs are open and you can mix with everyone on the wing. So it's the wings are quite big in there, and the violence what I witnessed in there, I'm not even going to mention to you on this video, because I don't want this video to be ad suitability or anything like that, and that's what normally happens when I mention horrific violence what I see. So I'm going to leave that one for tomorrow, but I will be talking about what I witnessed, what I see, the violence, what I've done myself, what I'm committed myself and other people to, and I'm not a proud man for doing that in any way, shape or form. Yes, I've done people with hot water and sugar. Yes, I've done people with two razor blades melted into a toothbrush. Yes, I've done people with PP9 batteries in socks, and pool balls in socks. And yet this all, this happened in Swaleside. So I'm going to be mentioning that tomorrow about the violence. I'm going to mention quite a bit about the regime. So if you're not working, you're not on education, what happens to you? Basically, you're behind your door for 23 hours a day, and you can hear everyone else going to work. The screws won't unlock you at all, apart from, at the times what given for dinner time and tea time and bits and pieces like that. But other than that, your door's not getting opened up until association time, which is the evening. So that can play a big part, and that can really mess about with your mind, because you're hearing people flying about doing their bits all happy, and you're stuck behind your cell door, until association time, which was normally 6 till 8. So yeah, there's a hell of a lot of bang up in there, and that is why the suicide rate in there is so high, because of a lot of people just cannot take the mental torture in there. It feels like when you're not working and you're banged up, which was my case, because I didn't believe in working at that time. I was playing up in the system, and I was getting like pushed from pillar to the post, and a lot of employers, a lot of workplaces down there wouldn't have me because I was a bit of a liability, for being violent. You know, as I've said to you before, I was an ACAT, I was category A before I went there, and I was an escapee, so I was a bit of a liability and a bit hard to employ, even in jail, let alone outside here. So you can imagine what luck I've got out here of getting employment. That's another story I want to talk to you about. Gangs, I'm going to talk to you about gangs, cliques, how they formed, different types of gangs, different types of cultures, different types of religions. I'll be mentioning quite a lot about that tomorrow to you guys. But yeah, my time in Swaleside, to be honest with you, was the worst bit of bird that I did on that 12-year sentence. I went through absolute hell, and how I didn't lose the plot and go insane, I will never ever know. And I do think about it, and I do ask myself, how did I ever get out of that without losing my mind? And I find that mind strength and what I've been through as a youngster, as a kid, the childhood trauma, losing my mum, having so much heartache and pain, all that can do to you is make you stronger. And if you can come out of all of that, then there's not a lot what can break you. So I had a lot of mind strength, but yeah, there was many a days where I was just crying my eyes out, and that's, I'm admitting it to you now as the next armed robber. There was many a days I was looking in the mirror at myself, crying my eyes out, asking myself some serious questions. Do I think I'm going to make it out of this sentence? Is this sentence going to come to an end? Will it get any better? There was quite a few questions what I was asking myself. But yeah, during the daytime, when everyone was at work and I was banged up behind the door, the screws were running about outside my cell. All my mates were running about outside my cell, and I'm behind my door. So what I used to do to take the time up was I got into matchstick modelling. I've never really said that on here, but yeah, that's what I used to do. Matchstick modelling, and I used to make some really good things. I've made like lorries, I've made pool tables on top of tobacco tins, jewelry boxes, and I took it on as like a full-time job during the daytime. I was buying like 5,000 matches at a time in the big bags from my canteen, getting the match cutter, the wood glue, and making the templates, and then matching the templates, and I was making some really good stuff. And there's some people still out here now with the models which I made. But yeah, guys, I can't believe that. I can't believe how time flies when you're having fun. I mean, look at the time now. I've been in 18 minutes into this video, and to me, it feels like I've only just touched the iceberg, or I haven't touched the iceberg. It's the tip of the iceberg. I've only just started. But yeah, guys, tomorrow I'm going to be talking in depth, with plenty of remorse, and I'm going to be telling you straight, and I mean straight, how it was for me in Swaleside. So I've give you little bits of what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow, but tomorrow make sure you tune in, guys, because I'll tell you something now. I want you to share this tomorrow's video, or you can share this video to inspire others and to deter others from thinking that going to prison, taking drugs is glamorous. It all ends in tears, let me tell you that. And you think that you might be able to beat addiction, but you can't. You cannot beat addiction. You've got to surrender to it, and you've got to do a lot of work on yourself to beat addiction. So don't ever think that you can keep your addiction under control, because addiction gets out of hand very, 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 very quickly. And I'm going to mention quite a lot about that tomorrow too. The reason why I just mentioned that is because I know I've got quite a lot of my followers on my channel what are battling addiction. And, I've battled addiction. So I like sharing my stories to let people know that addiction can be beat. I have beat Class A drug addiction, and I was addicted to Class A drugs for many, many years. I'm talking about decades, you know. So I'm a prime example that you can change. You've got to want to do it yourself. There's no point of trying to get help if you can't help yourself. That's the first thing you need to do, is help yourself. Put your card on the table and be honest with yourself and ask yourself some serious, honest questions. Do I want to continue with the rest of my life spending it on drugs, throwing my life away, wasting my life, or is it time to clean my act up now and live my life as a happy person? And I think you'll find the second one is the best choice. So guys, I hope you've had a good day. I hope you enjoy my content. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, to share and subscribe to keep my channel alive. I love you all. Peace.